watching our Monday first briefing. North Kyoga region is generally calm and peaceful, with some isolated cases which cannot antagonize the entire general peace of the region. These isolated cases are criminal in nature, particularly murders and accidents. To start right away, our territorial police in Molata district have arrested 2 suspects to help investigating a case of death of Malinga James, who was found dead in his house on the 12th of April 2025. The 2 suspects have been identified as Abida Robert Ongom and Uluga Justin. Meanwhile, one Kumakech Ronald alias Manga is still at large. It was alleged that on the 10th of April 2025 at around 2200 hours, Malinga James, the deceased now, went to relax at Pule Abdul's place in Uchakochiat Bar, Entebbe village, Namasale sub-county. He met his colleagues, Abila Robert, Kumaketh Ronald, and Uluga Justin, as well as Apio Joan. Shortly, Kumaketh Ronald and Abila Robert started fighting Malinga James because of Apio Joan. Malinga sustained injuries and didn't report to any authorities and went back home. However, the following day, the 11th of April, his immediate neighbor, Wabire Julius, asked him what happened. He narrated and immediately went and reported the matter to Namasale police station. At the same time, took him to a yet to be identified clinic for treatment. On the 12th of April 2025, Malinga was discovered dead already in his house by the elderly brother Olupot Sam. The scene of crime was visited by the police of Namasale. 2 suspects arrested and are in custody to support our investigation. A case, of course, have been amended from assault to murder by assault. 2, in a similar incident, Uyam District Police Station have registered 2 different murder cases and are closely investigating it. All these cases happened on the 12th of April 2025. In the month of March, Otipo Boni, 25 years old, a resident of Igwang village, Loro sub-county, Uyam district, and Akulu Masi, 18 years old, bought a fresh cassava from Ogwang Bosco, who is 30 years old, from his garden. And all along they have been uprooting the cassava from the garden. However, before concluding with uprooting, the deceased started demanding that he wants to use his garden. This created a misunderstanding between them, and on the 11th of this month, 2025, at around 2100 hours, Ogwang Bosco, deceased now, was called by a man only identified as Okelo, who took him to the home of Otipo Boni, where he was allegedly cut by a panga. He was taken to a Tapra Elsen hospital, where he was pronounced dead due to overbleeding. A case of murder was registered at Loro police station. Statements are recorded from relevant witnesses. Suspect arrested and in custody. Statements and files are being compiled. The scene was as well visited and all the necessary documentations were done, including a post-mortem. The second murder was involving a similar incident where Olui Tony, a 37 years old, went and reported himself to the police in Amenakulu Town Council, Nuyam district, that he had killed his 4-year-old child in the areas of Adelwad, Amenakulu Town Council. It was alleged that on the 12th of this month, 2025, at 600 hours in the morning, Olui Atoni, the father of the deceased, found the child defecated on the bed and he tortured this child badly. The child collapsed and died instantly. The suspect rushed and reported himself to the police in Amenakulu, claiming he slapped the child on the neck. Unfortunately, it said that the father divorced the mother of the child sometimes back, and all along the child has been staying with the father but mistreating him badly. A case of murder has been registered. Crime scene was visited and examined and documented. The body was taken to Anyeke Health Center 4, where postmortem is expected to be done. This is a very unfortunate and painful incident. We appeal to men outside there to stop struggling to look after a child, even after when they have divorced. It's important that they allow the child to stay with the mother if it is still at that tender age. In future, if all moves on well, you'll be able to collect your child. As if that is not enough, we have also registered murder in Lira City East Division. 3 people identified as Lemo Calvin, 29 years old, Ariemo Harriet, 39 years old, and Okelo Sam, 43 years old, all residents of Boroboro West Ward in Lira City East Division, have been arrested to support police with investigating a case of death of Okelo Walter, 56 years old. It was alleged that on the 11th of this month, at around 2200 hours, Okelo Sam, Okelo Bino, Ocheroboy, Opio Mark, and others were drinking at Okelo Walter's place. And Ariemo Harriet, the wife to the deceased, was the one serving at the customers. It is said that Okelo Walter came and in the presence of the customers picked up the quarrel with the wife, claiming Ocheroboy is in love with his wife. This turned into a fight, and in the process Okelo Walter was beaten, and it's alleged that he was hit with a brick. He fell down, became unconscious, and later died. When the medical practitioner was called, he confirmed this man was already dead. Police in Angwet and the main station of Lira City East Division responded to the scene. The suspects were arrested. The scene was examined and documented. The body was taken to Lira Regional Referral Hospital mortuary pending a postmortem. Preliminary findings indicates persistent domestic violence between the couple over extramarital affairs. Fatal accident. A lady identified as Kate Teresa, 57 years old, was reportedly knocked dead by a speeding bus registration number UAQ 371D, a Isuzu bus, yellow in color, belonging to Crown Bus Company. It was alleged that on the 12th of April 2025, at around 600 hours, bus registration number UAQ 371D was from Kampala to Adjumani. When it reached Ginger Camp, a pedestrian identified as Kate Teresa, 57 years old, while collecting empty bottles, suddenly crossed the road and the bus knocked her, killing her instantly. Traffic officers from Lira City West Division responded, and the body was taken to the mortuary at Lira Regional Referral Hospital pending a post-mortem. The bus has been parked at Lira City West at Division. The driver has been arrested and detained, is in police cells as inquiry moves on. We also had a hit and run, a fatal accident in Kole district. Our territorial police in Oyam district in Kamdini police have impounded motor vehicle registration number UBH 799R following a hit and run accident which happened on the 12th of April 2025 at around 2:30 hours at Baramendiang village in a Ye sub-county Kole district. It was alleged that the motor vehicle UBH 799R, which we are yet to identify the owner, while driving towards Akamdini on reaching Baramendiang village in a Ye sub-county along Lira Kamdini Highway, knocked dead a pedestrian identified as Ogwang John, 26 years old, a resident of Oyerlei village, Telela Parish, a Ye sub-county in Kole district, and the driver continued. Fortunately, his number plate and the side mirror fell off at the scene. Our traffic officers from Kole responded to the scene and assessed and documented it. The deceased body was taken to Lira Renal Referral Hospital mortuary for post-mortem. The vehicle has been intercepted and impounded at Kamdini police station, where inquiries is ongoing. We had another case of murder in Amolata. Our joint territorial police and military in Amolata are closely investigating murder by assault on a UPDF officer, Private Oyat Mogisa Edwin, attached to Fisheries Protection Unit to Bugungu Detached in Buyende district. It was alleged that on the 11th of April 2025 at around 1500 hours, OC Namsale police received information that a UPDF officer has been killed by fishermen around Mbiko landing site in Namsale Town Council. Upon receiving this information, the OC made an entry into the stationery book, contacted the UPDF IO of the area and the detached commander, and all quickly responded to Mbiko landing site while involving the local leadership. Findings indicate that there was a scuffle between the fishermen and the UPDF officer of the Fisheries Protection Unit on water near Mbiko landing site. He was allegedly hit on the head, and these fishermen were riding boat number 072. The body of the deceased officer has been retrieved near Chibuye landing site in Nakasongola district. That was on the next day with a deep cut on the head. The body was taken to Nakasongola pending post-mortem examination. Other details investigative report is yet to be provided in line to these findings. Finally, members and viewers, all over Christians in the world started Lent on Ash Wednesday, the 5th of March 2025, and ended on 13th April, Sunday, which was a Palm Sunday yesterday. During this period, Christians are typically engaged in practices like prayers, fasting, and almsgiving, while reflecting on Jesus' sacrifice and preparing for Easter. The 40 days of Jesus staying in desert was a time of repentance, spiritual growth, and a renewed focus on faith. Excuse me. As police, we want to dedicate this past period of land to the criminals who on many occasions have been murdered by mob. Looking at what I've presented to you today, you realize that we have received almost 5 to 6 different murder cases the week that was. On allegations of engaging in different criminal offenses, they must realize that the community members are tired with their continued involvement in some of these criminal acts. We therefore advise them to use this Holy Week to change their lifestyle and start engaging in fighting poverty eradication through showing interest in different government programs like the Parish Development Model, Youth Livelihood Program, Kyoga, and so on. Then to members of the public, we shouldn't forget that wrongdoers are adamant to change. And sometimes we expect that around this period, they will continue to commit crimes like house breaking and theft, defilement, mobile money theft, robbery, phone snatching and pickpocketing, and so many other offenses. People will be going out for celebrations in different places, and be worshiping, can be bars, can be restaurants, can be hotels, living homes unattended to. We call for vigilancy, timely reporting to security. Those who can install closed-circuit television cameras should do so, or they can also put security lights in their homes, as well as strong padlocks. As police, we shall continue working hand in hand with other security agencies all over the region to secure this Easter period. We shall also continue to conduct operations, foot and motorized patrols, arrest suspected criminals for investigation and possible charges against them. We wish everybody in this region a day filled with joy, peace, and hope of renewal, and may this Easter bring you and your loved one happiness, love, and cherished moments. Thank you. I wish you a good day. If there is anything you didn't get clearly, kindly ask for clarity. Thank you.
Yes, Manipuro.
Yes, please.
In our last police press briefing, we had cases of mob action in Lepton, Kyoga district, and a patch of which the police were still on the hunt for those who are involved in this action.
Yes,
Has
please.
there been any arrest in those 3 separate cases?
Well, I think most of the cases we affected arrest. There's only one where we were still on the hand of the alleged suspects. Sometimes we get challenges with the community leadership, because these are people who know most of these suspects, but they tend to shy away, not sharing such information to police. So that effort is still on, but we're very optimistic that we shall get them. Yes, please.
My name is Maurice Michael from the Life Times.
Yes, Maurice.
I want to ask you a question in reference to what happened in Sebe, where a police officer was killed by mob, and in relation to what is happening in North Kyoga region, where many people are being killed by mob. Could it be where there is a lack of manpower? Because when you count the time interval that, like when the scenario is happening and the time that police, like maybe they reach to the scene, and we are experiencing such things in Lambo, do you have that issue of like the manpower, the problem, the shortage of manpower?
Well, first of all, it's true that we're having series of murder cases, and fortunately, our regional police commander, in our management meeting, he has tasked the office of the regional CAD to come out with an assessment on some of these continued cases of murders that are on the hike in this region. It's quite unfortunate. Almost on a daily basis we are receiving these cases, but these are really isolated cases. You find a disagreement between a husband and a wife, maybe in a bar, maybe somebody is alleged to have stolen an item and people rain on them. I think our interest should be now, why are people taking law into their hands? This should be something which is very pertinent, that all of us should take interest. Us as police, you in the media fraternity, the local leadership, the religious, the cultural, all of us need to take interest and understand. It's unfortunate that most time it's police who is condemning some of this act which is being portrayed in the community. It's very rare to hear a local leader or district leader or religious or the cultural leadership condemning some of this action. It's unfortunate. But again, that should make us understand that are the community members fed up with the proceedings? What is it? If it is so, what has the community member done to make sure that we have a successful investigation and somebody is taken before court of law? Sometimes the community doesn't understand that. On many occasions, the community apprehends, gives to the police, and it ends there. Yet, the same law mandates that the community members should support police with the process of investigation, thorough provision of evidence to that effect. If possible, this person can even go and testify before court, such that courts come out with it lasting solution by making judgment for this person to learn. But our community members tends to shy away. So with that, we've noticed that we need to embark more on community engagement, which it's something which is already in plan, and we're going to effect on that. Unfortunately, this incident that happened on our colleagues in Ibanda, it's quite unfortunate. When you watch that clipped, how they killed that officer, I shed tears. They're hitting this officer like they're killing a snake. Very, very pathetic, very unfortunate, very primitive. So, fortunately, the issue is being handled, arrests are being made, and we believe that at the end of the day, the matter is going to be handled and justice will be seen on this innocent officer who died miserably. Thank you.
Maybe lastly, apart from the police condemning such acts of murder, and then maybe apart from engaging the public, maybe during those community policies, there are strategies maybe looking at the conflict resolution, and then maybe the peace-related topics that maybe the police would really introduce in a bid to cap down the vice?
Well, you're very true. That is why I'm trying to say we need a collective responsibilities. If you only look at police as only harm that can handle some of these criminal activities, we are not going to resolve some of these challenges. And it is in the interest of the government that allows some of the NGOs to operate, and we expect some of these NGOs who are still in operations to come up with some of these proposals, such that people are taken through. Are we having kind of a post-trauma of the previous issues that have been happening before? What is it that? So we really need to take interest and digest this further. And at the end of the day, we should be able to come out with a solution. Short of that, leaving it to the police, it's not going to be helpful. Because as police, we look from the handle, the legal perspective. We apprehend and take these people to court. Fortunately, some of these isolated cases, which is between so and so, most of these suspects have been arrested and have been taken to court. But we need to look deeper. What is it that is making some of these cases rise up? So as police, we are not sleeping, we are trying our best. Fortunately, we have a number of crime prevention and community policing programs on different radio stations, but that is not enough. We need to move on ground and continue engaging members of the public. Our RPC, when he came in, he had taken interest to have a familiarization tour, which he began very well. And in this context, as he moves to meet the commanders, he also engages with the district leadership, the office of the RDC, COW, LC5, and other leaders. So by this, he has been able to share some of these challenges so that we put our hands together. Thank you. Thank you for particularly KFM for the continued live streaming of this Monday press briefing. For those who have been watching us, thank you for always getting tuned to this YouTube channel of Quality FM. I think this is something which is good. We thank you for your time. Amid some other things that you should have been doing, but you opted to watch this press briefing live on Quality FM. Thank you. We wish you a good day. This is Holy Week. Let's do all it takes to remind ourselves of the suffering of Jesus Christ, definitely for our sin, and we try to make changes in our life through repentance and other things. We are aware from yesterday, today, prayers, tomorrow, prayers, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is a Good Friday, Saturday is the Holy, and Sunday is a celebration. So this is something which is very, very pertinent in our life. We should embrace it to make us improve on our faith. Thank you. I wish you a good week.